The latest revision of the world's most secure protocol, Transport Layer Security version 1.3, is released and out in the public. But as you know, these new standards may or may not be adopted as quickly as you might think. It's not going away, but for some reason, it isn't being adopted as fast as you might think. So why is it? Well, let's go ahead and take a look. It is understood that network security is of utmost importance. In addition to perimeter and endpoint security, encrypted communication is paramount to achieving network security. So if you take a look at the reports from WatchGuard, SSL Labs, and Qualys, it is clearly seen that the deployment or adoption of TLS is still in its adolescent stage. There are many reasons for this, such as server capability to support TLS 1.3. Newly developed web browsers and network communication devices now support TLS 1.3, but many legacy network devices and browsers still do not support that computing environment. As a result, there is still a need to support the older versions of TLS while knowing that the end goal is to offer their clients and customers and users a truly secure environment using TLS 1.3 going forward. Now, let's take a look at how Keysight Technologies' active SSL decryption features and functionalities can help achieve goals for you in this environment. So we're going to start off here from the Vision 1 diagram screen. You can see all the connections for network ports going through dynamic filters and then out to tool ports. And in this case, you can actually see there's a tool chain. So there's actually an inline configuration. So I'm actually going to click on the inline diagram, and we're going to take a closer look at this diagram. Okay, what we actually have here is we only have one inline connection. We have a network link coming in and going out, so return traffic, and we have it going through the active SSL decryption capability here. But in essence, we're also taking that data once decrypted, we're sending the clear text data to this port pair to be sent through the FortiGate and then back out to the other side. So all of these will be used, for just a single connection. You're going to see double entries for this. If we go into the active SSL properties, you're going to see how this flow of this traffic will look, right? So going in from port A into the decryptor and then out of port C, okay? Same thing goes from the return traffic. Port B will go through the decryptor and be sent to port D, okay? So you can edit all of the default port pairs, and you can even click, let's say, on the inline tool resource itself, and then determine whether the data is going to be fail open or fail close, meaning if the device fails, do you want your network traffic to stop or do you want it to continue? If you want it to continue even after it has failed, you will select fail open, otherwise you select fail closed. Okay, but at this time we're going to go to the active SSL and we're going to launch this. And it will pop up a new tab in your web browser. And from this, you're going to be able to see that it has a running tab of the number of decrypted sessions, the number of handshakes, the SSL handshakes that are occurring per second, and the amount of decrypted traffic that we're providing support on. That hopefully, in this case, the way we have it mapped out, will go to the FortiGate. On the bottom here, you'll also see a running tab of all three of those mechanisms as well. Really, there's nothing else to do on this screen other than review it, but we can take a look at the configuration of the SSL decryptor itself. So on this second configuration profiles tab, we can see that there is an entry already. This is RDP, so it's just basically remote desktop, port 3389, and it's set to cut through. So that's kind of an individual application-based look and feel to the decryption capability. For everything else, let's say we want to decrypt that traffic. At that point, we also say what the minimum and maximum layer versions of TLS being used, right? So In mine, I'm going to start at TLS 1.0, but we see here that we do have the ability to set it to TLS 1.3 for decryption purposes. We're using this IXIA demo CA certificate. And actually, if we go to like the certificate validation, we can see that there's a whole list of providers of certificates. I mean, I can't go through all of these, but it will give you more information, including the CNs and more information about the certificates, when they're issued, when they expire. Okay. So at this point, we're also going to take a look at the log, which gives us an entire log of all the sessions that were decrypted. And when this pops up, you'll see all the list of names that are there. Okay. And you can see what their start times are, what their end times are. So basically, every time we have a session that's on these sites, we can show you how that's been decrypted. Okay. So keep in mind that you can choose which applications, which websites you want to decrypt and which ones you want to leave in encrypted form. So for instance, if you have a corporate email server, you may want to decrypt that for whatever purposes, but you may want to leave, let's say, your employees' access to Gmail or your employees' access to banking sites as cut through so that they aren't spied on in terms of what they're doing with the data. So with that, I would like to say thank you for joining this session to learn more about Keysight's Secure Stack Active SSL to help you gain more visibility into the SSL blind spots. Take care.